but I got to know Katie so much better, as well as, my other two friends that ended up coming. And so, yeah, it ended up being fine. There was just certain things that I'll say at the end that I wish we would have prepared for beforehand. So, the road trip itself, I went over my friend's house, and she had told me that they were going to start packing the car. Katie, our friend, was flying in that night, and we were going to meet her at a mutual friend's house. She was going to fill our car, and then we were going to head out that night. We were going to leave on the road that night because Bonnaroo, we were leaving on a Wednesday, and we wanted to get there for Thursday. We wanted to be there Thursday night with a bunch of other people who were driving down. So we headed out that night. We just drove through the night. We took turns. When we woke up in the morning, I think we had like 5 or 6 hours left. And we just, once again, just continued to switch off driving my friend Jasmine's car until we got there. The ride itself wasn't bad. The car was pretty small and it was packed. Like, all of our shit was in there. But I'm pretty cool with being uncomfortable. I just fell asleep the whole time. Obviously, if you're up all night, with people packing and like packing cars, like by the time you get in the car, it's time for bed. So I slept the majority of the time. When I was awake, like I kind of listened to the conversations people were having, but I'm a big like put my headphones, watch my own videos, eat my little snacks, and like not really say anything on the car ride kind of person. So the car ride was fine. No major snafus. We did not stop to see any like scenic routes. We didn't pull over for any like navigation or anything, and that ended up really saving our ass, because the other people who did stop. Like, there's this huge Bass Pro Shop that's in the shape of a triangle that if you've ever seen it or been in there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the first thing that they wanted to do was pull over, and we as the POCs were like, number one, we're not pulling over, and especially in the South, and number two, don't y'all want to get there? Like, don't you think there'll be a line and it's going to be wild? Which is what ended up happening. We got to Manchester and there was already a line. Like, we pulled into the city limits, drove for maybe 20 minutes, and then there's the line. It is starting to form, and it's all the way, basically out past the city lines. Now, it's kind of fun because once you get in line and you see what the people are doing, you can start to have fun. We had to park because the lines took forever. They have to search your car before you go in. They're searching for like weapons, drugs, alcohol. And so, not very intently, but they're at least opening some bags and acting like they're looking through it. But yeah, they have to do like a search, and everyone got there at the same time, we're assuming. I've heard, and what had happened the next day was everyone said it was so much easier to get into Bonnaroo Friday morning than it was Thursday night, because they opened the campgrounds, I think, on Tuesday. So some people go really early and they just camp there for an entire week. I am planning on going this year. My friends and whatnot are planning on driving in on Thursday, which is the same thing we did before. And as long as you get there at a pretty reasonable time, like I said, it was like pretty early in the morning when we got there, and we were in line all the way until the evening. We were able to get in eventually, and we were able to get our plot, and we started setting up. Now, the other people that took all those detours and took naps and took places, when they got in line, they were furious. It was, I think, hours before the line moved. I think people fell asleep in the line. I think they even paused letting people into Bonnaroo because it was so many people all at once. And so when we got up in the morning, we were actually awoken by somebody who I never met before coming to the ground side and like waking everybody up because they felt a sort of a kind of way that we had already basically set up without them. And like I said, this was like maybe 2 cars full of people, like maybe 6 or 7 people, but they all knew each other. So they came deep, like, why did y'all set up without us? And all this other sorts of bullshit. I let the white people deal with their white problems. I don't know y'all. I was told to put my stuff down. I'm not going to wake up early and like have this back and forth. And the other white people were like holding them accountable. Like, shut up. It's early in the morning. We don't know you. You're late. Calm down. So there's going to be some antics, especially when people are frustrated, when they've been sitting in the car for hours, when the Bonnaroo staff is like trying their best to make sure everybody can go through. But obviously that's a really stressful situation. And there were cops everywhere. So also mind that there are cops all throughout really Tennessee and really just up that way where everybody goes to get to Manchester. But definitely that day, it was pretty wild. So watch out for that, especially being POC folks. So that was my experience from the car 13 hours away in Texas to get to Tennessee. And then now I want to dive into the actual Rue experience. So I'm going to speak into the camera as I watch the videos and then just take the audio out or put this back in someplace. But the first thing we have is us at the grocery store, and this is the process that I was talking about where you buy the food beforehand. So we bought all the food. Next, this is the actual campsite after we had set up. So this is all the stuff that you can see, and this is at night. This is before other people are coming. You can see it's pretty empty. Like, it's just us and a couple of other tents, because not everybody had gotten there. They were still in line. Like I said, they were in line for hours. This is us in the morning once the other lot of people had come in. This is after they had kind of like done that party foul and kind of made everybody mad. But you can see how much more packed it is now. Like, everybody's now here. So we're all together now, baby. The beer pong table's up. These are some of the amenities they have at Bonnaroo, which I do like. They do yoga every morning and like different stations. There's like different dance parties, different DJs, like painting, all different types of stuff. These are the stages at night. This was actually Thursday night when we went roaming around, because the and stage, as you can see with the ampersand, the and stage is open 24/7. So it never stops. There's always going to be a DJ or music playing. And so this is the first night. You know, nothing was really going on. We had just gotten there, and I had maybe like 4 or 5 hours in me. Not even 4 or 5 hours. I had maybe like 2 hours of me being like, I've been in a car for 13 hours. Add another 4 or 5 to like set up, and you know, this is where we're at. I don't know why I put what happened on Thursday after Thursday. I'll probably move this around in the video, but this is me hula hooping. Once again, this outfit was something that I had planned. Oh, this is the end of Friday. This is the outfit I had planned out from Rainbow. And I got the cover from Rainbow. I got the bra from Rainbow. I got the overalls from Rainbow. I got everything from Rainbow. And I actually took this, the point of this look was florals and flowers, because when you think of music festival, Coachella, like that's all I think of is like flower crowns, flowers. And I love flower crowns. And so I just decorated all my clothes with flowers. My friend Katie actually recorded this. So thank you, Katie. So this was Friday. This is now Saturday morning when everyone's like, happy Rue, I look so hot, titties up and out. I made that bra myself. I got it from Rainbow. I got the bag from Rainbow. I got the hula hoop from Walmart. You know, we were on a budget, but I looked great. This is when we went to go see Maren Morris. Sorry for the juxtaposition. I think this was Odessa. Yeah, this was Odessa. This is definitely Odessa. This is the aftermath of Odessa. You can see how many people there are. There are thousands of people, thousands upon thousands of people. There is a sea of people. Then we went to go see Gucci Mane at like 2 in the morning. There was this white mom with locks, and all of her white kids had locks, and they all knew the words, and they were saying the N-word, and it was just too much. But I was like, I live for y'all. This is my friend going in. She looks so good. Killing it with the hoop. She is one of my hoop moms. Love you, Jamila. Go off, Jamila. We live for her. But yeah, she's hooping, which is like one of the big reasons I go. I am also a flow artist. I hula hoop. I shuffle. My wife is getting into flow art, so I feel like half of the fun of going to a music festival or just a rave in general is seeing all the people who dance and like turn up and have a good time. Because that's the majority of why we go. This is my friend Coco. As you can see, it was 5:58 in the morning. I had not gone to sleep. I was like, Coco, yes. This is actually my second outfit, so this must have been the next day. This is after Coco and I were jamming. We went to go do yoga. This is my bestie Christ. She was painting and being a bad bitch. Katie is also painting. It's just the girls painting. This is just the girls painting day. Maya Rudolph has a band. Didn't know that. And so I saw her. That shit was fucking sick. I was so happy I got to see Maya Rudolph, and shout out to my bestie Christ, because she always has the best music recommendations. This was Cardi B. Cardi was amazing. I saw Solange. I saw Childish Gambino. I saw Odessa. There was lots of... Look up the 2019 lineup at Bonnaroo. It was Cardi... Oh, I already said Cardi B. It was wild. There was a lot of really good people. There she is in her robe. Her outfit had ripped, and she was like, I don't give a fuck if my outfit ripped. I'm Cardi B. I'm about to come out anyway. And she did. She came out with no clothes on, ready to turn up, and we had a really good time. This is us, a picture of us. And then this is a picture of me on the first day, like I said, and then this is the second day. Y'all saw my third outfit with the rainbow cage, but this is like my raver girl outfit. The white girl in the back staring at me always kills me. But yeah, so now this is where I'll plop myself back in. So I had a really good time. I think that the biggest, or let's go straight into the retrospective, or things that I wish I could have changed or that I didn't enjoy. The number one was obviously the money issue. I didn't have any money going to Bonnaroo. And while I did have a really good time, obviously I was self-conscious the entire time that I didn't have any money to buy food. And we had already put all of our money into buying food. And unfortunately, by the second day, all of that food had gone bad. I don't really blame anybody for that other than us just being four dumb bitches who have never really camped very seriously before. I'm definitely a glamper. And so this year I will not be purchasing any food. You can load money onto your wristband from Bonnaroo, and I will be loading money onto my wristband. I am not going to be shelling out any money to refrigerate, to keep any food. Fuck that. There's places in Outer Roo, there's places in Center Roo. There's so much food and drink around Bonnaroo that is free, water that you can just find, as well as just paid for food that will keep you full, for the majority of the time that you're there. And it's less things that you have to pack and worry about. Snacks, maybe like chips and, stuff for the car, such stuff to like kind of munch on. But even then, like I said, there's always something around. Like, as long as you have maybe, I would say max like $50 a day, and that's max. Like, I am one of those people that has just one huge meal, which isn't smart. But even eating 3 times a day at like $10 per meal, like I said, you're maybe spending $30 a day, 30 times 4 for a trip that you've already spent all this money to get down to. It's really important. I basically ran out of money by the time we left the Walmart. And I would not recommend that. This year, I'm going to be going fully loaded. We're going to be pre-packed before we go there, so we're not going to be buying anything from the Walmart, in Manchester. And we're actually going to stay in Nashville the Wednesday before. So the reason why I'm doing that is because while I really love the road trip with the girlies, I do not want to travel for 13 hours straight and then immediately go to a music festival. I really need a break in between. So instead, we're going to focus on, getting down there and getting safe, and then parking, staying somewhere in Nashville, going to the Dolly Bar, taking some pictures, like enjoying Tennessee, and then waking up in the morning. I'm going to be picking up some of my friends from the airport, and we'll head in that day. Like I said, last time when we did that on a Thursday, we got there like towards the afternoon, and we still had to be there all day. I'm kind of anticipating that because I don't expect less people to go to Bonnaroo. I expect more. So I'm just hoping that they do a little bit better of a job with that this year. I know that they had it last year. I didn't go because in 2020 they said you could either refund your tickets or save them for the next year, and then, or 2020, and then 2021 came around and they canceled it because there was a huge storm and it like ruined everything. So then they were like, we're just gonna give everybody their money back, even if you thought you were coming for 2020. Bet you didn't expect me up here. My camera went off while I was still talking. So just to sum it all up, I really enjoyed Bonnaroo. Like I said, being poor is such a huge, barrier to doing anything that's fun. But because I had really good people around me and I met amazing people who weren't going to let me starve, I ended up having a good time. But overall, do not do things that require you to have money without having a plan as to how you're going to attack that when you get there. Because while it ended up working out, I definitely know a bunch of people who went for that strategy and was like, I'm just going to get to Bonnaroo and worry about it when I get there. And you don't want to be that person, especially if you go alone. I went alone. I went with 3 friends that I kind of knew. I knew pretty well, but they weren't my besties or anything. And yeah, I just went on a win. I wanted to have a good time. I hope this video was pretty informative to you all, and I hope you all seeing my experience can kind of encourage you as to whether or not you want to go. But leave comments. Let me know if you've been to Bonnaroo as a Black person, if you've been to Bonnaroo as a queer person, if you've been to Bonnaroo as a person of color. Let me know what your experience was. Are you going this year? Are you excited? Will you be going again? Is it something that maybe was a one-time thing or something that you're going to build into like the tradition of who you are? I'd love to know. Like I said, sorry about the camera cutting off, and this video is kind of long already. But thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.